right, it looks like it is leveling off, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're starting here for the Masters of Science in Data Science Information session. And if we want to go to the next slide, please, I can start with some introductions. My name is Bryce. I am a recruitment counselor within the Division of Masters and Professional Programs. You might recognize me if you have attended some Belong at Browns or maybe some advising sessions. And then I'll hand it over to Andres and Maria to introduce themselves as well.
Good morning, everyone. My name is András Zsom. I'm the Director of the Graduate Studies, which means that I am the academic advisor to all the master students in the program. And I'm also an assistant professor of the practice, which means that I teach two of the mandatory courses in the master's program, and I will talk about those in just a few minutes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria Cardoni. I'm the Academic Programs Manager for the Data Science Institute and its two centers. So that includes the Data Science Master's Program. So I help Andras with a lot of the logistical and student support part of the program.
Wonderful, thank you. I've put some housekeeping just in the chat. So just so you know, as an attendee today, you will receive an application fee waiver, and that is one waiver valid for any non-SOFIS application. It will be automatically applied to the account attached to the email that you're using to join this Zoom session today. So if your application was started under a different email, we can switch that over if you would like. I put the email in the chat, masters_events@brown.edu. And then if you do have questions throughout the session, please put them in the Q&A function. We might answer some throughout the webinar, but we'll be holding a lot for the end. Awesome. And if we want to go to the next slide, I'll hand it back to Andres to get us started.
Thank you. So we'll cover a couple of things about the master's program during the first, maybe third of these sessions. We'll talk about the various different program structures we offer, the fundamental topics, and some highlights of the courses that we offer. We'll also talk about prerequisites, which is, I think, very important. And then I will hand it back to Bryce, and then she will talk about the application requirements towards the end. Next slide, please. Let's start with some program structure info, so we can move on to the next slide. So the master's program, data science master's program, is hosted at the Data Science Institute, but we also have strong connections with other departments at campus, on campus. And so the way you will really see that very well is that some of the courses you will take are offered by other departments. For example, you will take some applied mathematics courses, and you will also take some computer science courses from the CS department. The fundamental topics we cover, I think, what you would expect from a data science program. We'll talk about a lot on database engineering, machine learning, deep learning, statistics. And I think what really sets this program apart is that we have a strong emphasis on ethics and fairness in machine learning and data science generally. You will see that we really emphasize experience. And the way you will see that is that if you take a course, there will be lots of components, homework assignments, final projects, etc., where you will have to work individually or in teams to really practice the skills that you learn during the lectures. In any given term, you will not have a large number of courses, maybe like 2 or 3 courses per term. But because of these extra assignments, projects, etc., whatnot, you should expect to spend maybe 15 hours, 10 to 15 hours a week on each of the courses that you will take here. Next slide, please. So we only have a fall intake for this master's program. So students usually arrive towards the end of August because we have a bunch of orientations on campus. And so we have orientation for international students. We have orientation to new incoming students generally. We will have one for the master's program as well. So we highly recommend that you attend those, help you get oriented at Brown so you can quickly settle in and figure out how things work around here. The program length is flexible. It is set to 20 months by default, but you can use alternative timelines. You can finish the program in as short as 12 months, maybe 16 or even 24 months as well. The default program structure is the sequence of numbers that you see on the slide is 22122. What that means is that you will take 2 courses in your first fall, 2 courses in your first spring term, 1 course during the summer, which is the capstone project, and then 2 courses in your second fall and 2 courses in your second spring. We looked at historical data, and this 22122 program structure was the most popular in our alumni. And so this is why you start with the 20-month program structure, but we can change that in every academic term if you want to complete the program faster or maybe a bit slower. You should know that the 24 month is the longest time you can take to complete the master's program. We simply cannot extend the program structures beyond the 24 month. There is the course info on that website that you see there, but in the next slide, I will quickly go through the courses that we offer in the master's program. So you have to complete 9 courses in order to fulfill the graduation requirements. And so this is a sample timeline if you want to complete the fall program in 12 months. That would mean you have to take 4 courses in your first fall, 4 courses in your spring, and then the capstone, the practicum course during the summer. And then you are done by August. If you start in September 2026, you will be done by August 2027, so within 12 months. So in the fall, we have Data 1030, which is one of the courses that I teach. It's hands-on data science is the course title. We cover how to develop machine learning pipelines using Python. So we learn how to use packages like pandas, polars, scikit-learn. We talk about packages like XGBoost, which is a very popular machine learning model used in industry. We will talk about how to make machine learning models interpretable and explainable, which is super important anytime you work with data or models that impact human lives. And we also consider things like how to handle missing values, how to split data sets if they are not IID. I will talk about what that means during the lecture. So we use Python in this course. There are weekly problem sets, and there's also a final project and the students complete, which I think is really nice always to see. Then we have Data 1050. This is our data engineering course. You will learn about SQL, how to manage databases, and what kind of issues and things you have to consider as you collect data. And you want to make sure that it's high quality and well maintained. All these kind of things are covered in this course. The next one is Data 2060, Machine Learning Theory. That's the second course I teach, also offered during the fall term. This is a very theory-oriented course. So during the lectures, we will learn about the mathematics and the computer science, the algorithms behind various different machine learning techniques. And then in the weekly homework assignments, the students implement these techniques from scratch using only Python and NumPy and object-oriented programming. There's also a final project in this course. So students will choose an algorithm that we do not implement in the homework assignments, and they will implement it from scratch, write tests, make sure it works correctly, make sure they can reproduce results of other published works and stuff. So that's also, I think, a great course. And then we have APMA 1690. This is our computational probability course. You will learn about hypothesis testing a little bit, Monte Carlo models, Markov chain kind of things. This is one of the courses where you will use R, and it is very theory oriented as well, very mathy, very proofy, with some coding component on it as well. So these are the typical fall courses. And then in the spring, we have Data 2020, which is statistical learning. This is another course where you will use R instead of Python. There's more hypothesis testing in this course, A/B testing, some Bayesian statistics, all of these kind of things are offered in Data 2020. Then we have the deep learning course, CS 1470. As you would expect from a course like this, you will learn about various different neural network architectures and deep learning. You will start with fully connected neural networks, and then you talk about convolutional neural networks, LSTMs, transformers as well. And I think in this course, there is a final project as well, and bi-weekly homework assignments, if I remember correctly. And the next one is fairness in automated decision making. So this is a course dedicated to ethics and fairness in data science. Ethics and fairness will pop up in basically all of your courses to a certain degree, but this course is dedicated to it. So you will learn about how you can measure all sorts of gender, maybe racial biases in machine learning models and in data sets, and you will learn about methods to address these issues and how you can fix machine learning models so they do less harm, basically, is the idea here. And then you will have to complete an elective course. Any master's, any graduate level course at Brown is acceptable as your elective. Students usually have two different goals with the elective course. One is that if there's a certain technique or method that you think we didn't cover too much in the master's program, but it will be useful to you in your future career, you can take a course in that topic. So that would usually be computer science or applied mathematics courses. The other goal is if you know in which domain you would like to apply your skills at, you can take a course in that domain. So students take sometimes courses in genomics or public policy, maybe economics, etc., etc. So you have a wide variety of choice in this case. And then we have Data 2050. This is our capstone or practicum course. In this course, you will work in small teams or individually. That will be up to you to decide. The instructor will source potential projects for you. So we reach out to our industry contacts and they offer projects to work with small teams on campus. We also have academic projects, so Brown faculty will also offer a project for the practicum. And if you arrange an internship for yourself and the instructor approves that internship, you can also use that to fulfill the capstone requirements. So there are a bunch of choices how you can complete Data 2050. I think that's it for this slide, so we can move on. So I want to talk a bit about the prerequisites for especially the coursework for the program. So we are looking for basically four things. We are looking for a calculus course, linear algebra, some probability and statistics course, and programming experience in Python or R. We have some Brown equivalent courses on the right side of this slide. Obviously, we don't expect you to have taken those courses. The idea here is that you can go to cab.brown.edu. This is short for Courses at Brown, CAB. And you can check those courses. There is a course description. You can check what kind of topics were covered, and you can make sure that those topics were covered in your prerequisite courses as well. Sometimes students take these prerequisite courses, but the course names are kind of different. That can happen. So when you apply, there will be program-specific questions, and that's where you can list all the courses that covered certain topics from calculus, certain topics from linear algebra. You can let us know what kind of topics were covered, what was the course title, what grade you received. We need all of this information on your application form. If you don't have maybe one of these prerequisites, that's fine. we consider students who are exceptional but maybe miss one of these prerequisites. I think we can move on to the next slide, please. Yes, the other things we'll look at is communication skills. So we will also look at the internships and the research assistant positions that you have completed. If you have internships and RA experiences, please ask your supervisors and your advisors to write the recommendation letters for you. Recommendation letters from direct supervisors is extremely valuable. They can talk about, your communication skills. They can talk about how you work in a team, your work ethics, all these kind of things. That is extremely valuable when we read through recommendation letters. We often see letters from instructors, which is fine. It's not great. The problem is if you are one student in a large course with like maybe even hundreds of students, the instructor is not able to give very detailed feedback on you. So those letters are not really useful for us. They can talk about your grade in the course and how you perform, etc., etc. But that's not really what we want to see in a recommendation letter. We really want your letters from your supervisors and advisors, professional relationships with people that you spend lots of one-on-one time with. They really know you and they can really write great things about you. Also, I'm happy to say that this year we offer scholarships. This could be full or half tuition scholarships, and it's available to US citizens and legal permanent residents only, unfortunately. But we have more information on this on our website, so you can read more about it over there. Next slide, please. So here are some outcomes from our alumni. Our program is not very old. I think the first cohort started in 2017, and the first graduates finished the program in 2018, if I remember correctly. But that was maybe 7 years ago. So some of these students already became managers, directors, VPs even. And so those students or those alumni became our industry network, basically, which is super nice. So what we do is that every summer, usually in August, we go through our alumni's LinkedIn profiles and we collect at which company they work at, what is their job title, right? And so this data collection method is good, but not great. As you can imagine, some people maybe don't have LinkedIn profiles. Some people don't keep it updated. We have alumni who graduated several years ago and they still appear as master students because they didn't add in the company that they work at. So, it's not perfect as a data source, but it still works pretty well. And so we check during the summer where everyone works. And based on that, we collect a bunch of information. We have post-graduation employment rates that we estimate. We also know which company they work at and in what area, what discipline. So you can see in the donut chart on the right, we have lots of alumni working in finance, tech, healthcare, and grad is short for grad school. So a bunch of students decide to pursue a PhD after completing the master's program. And we have a bunch of other areas as well, like entertainment, manufacturing, research, etc., etc. We have multiple alumni working at Citizens Bank, Amazon, Wayfair, PayPal, and Google as well. Citizens is quite interesting. They hired one of our alumni a couple of years ago. And since then, that alumni became a director at Citizens, and he just keeps hiring our students. So they have data science team, which is basically just DSI alumni, which I think it's super nice. And again, we have more info on the career outcomes website of the master's program. I think that's it from me. So I hand it over to Bryce, and I will take a look at the Q&A questions in the meanwhile.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So we can go to the next slide and we can talk a little bit about the career support and professional development opportunities offered at Brown for master's students. So I work within the division of master's and professional programs, and part of our team is offering different career support and professional development support. So I'm putting this link in the chat to view the website. But we offer all sorts of resources, starting with kind of career resources, helping you find what career path would be best matched with your experience, your interests, where you want to go. Sometimes that's still a question. So having a resource to help you find what your next step in your path is really helpful. Um, we also do things like helping you with your interviews. We'll do mock interviews. We do resume and cover letter workshops, kind of events from individual to large groups. So we'll do one-on-one kind of career advising sessions with you. We'll also do large group events. We'll do networking events, all sorts of really fun opportunities to kind of really bolster your self-confidence in your career search. And then we also offer lots of different kind of alumni get-togethers, networking events, get together with your specific kind of STEM career path, lots of career fairs. If you're interested in getting to know people face to face, we'll introduce you there. We do offer job and internship opportunities in Handshake as well. That is a website that you'll get access to once you have become an enrolled student. And that is where we post all of our job opportunities on campus. So if you're interested in working on campus or becoming like a TA, a research assistant, a graduate assistant, that is all going to be posted there. And then you also have access to connect with our alumni. Brown has been around for a long time, and we have a lot of different programs. And so we have a lot of alumni, and they are always really willing to offer that help and want to connect with current students and other alumni. So that is another really great resource. If we want to go to the next slide, I can start looking into application requirements. Next slide, please. Awesome. So this is the overview of the process as well as what you need. Um, so this is a very good screenshotable slide. These are all of the required little pieces that create a complete application. Please note that we cannot review an application unless it is complete. And so that is including all of the aspects that you see on the slide right now, starting with transcripts. When you first submit your application, we will accept unofficial transcripts, but if you are accepted by the time classes start, we do need those official transcripts. If they are international transcripts, we will need some sort of credential evaluation, as well as they need to be translated into English. We want to see your CV or resume. We love to see what kind of professional experience that you have kind of leading into the program. And this can be professional, it can be while you're also in your undergrad. This can include things like presentations or publications that you have done, or any volunteer work or extracurriculars that kind of strengthen your story within your application. When we're looking at your application, we really want to see the story of who you are and the story of where you want to go, and how this program is going to help you get there. So that can really be shown in your personal statement, short answer questions. Just be sure that you're really considering what those questions are and answering them to the best of your ability. It's great to see what your story is, who you are. This is kind of that one piece that gets to show a little bit of your personality. So show what you're interested in, talk about what your past experiences in relation to the program have been, how your motivations kind of started, where your passion was for this program, and then how this program specifically is going to help you reach those short and long-term goals. We also want to see 3 letters of recommendation. Andres spoke a little bit about those earlier. These are recommenders who can speak to your unique strengths, who have really seen how you learn and then how you apply what you've learned, someone who knows you really well. Something important to note about the letters of rec is these are not really character references. We're not looking for friends and family to write these. We're looking for supervisors, professors, advisors, mentors, someone, again, who can really speak to your unique strengths and how they will play out within this subject. If your native language is not English, and you have not attended a school where English is the sole language of instruction, then we do want to see your English language proficiency exam scores. The two tests that we accept are the TOEFL and the IELTS. One of the questions that we get a lot is the Duolingo exam accepted? And we do not accept the Duolingo exam. And then make sure you have a list listing all of the courses you've completed in the required prerequisite areas. We want to see that you've taken, calculus, linear algebra, probability, and programming. So be sure that you have that available as well. You can submit that in your supplemental materials, but there is also a question on the application asking about it, and you can answer that there. And our deadline is February 1st, 2026. My recommendation is the sooner you submit, the better, but that is kind of universal. Next slide, please. Awesome. So standardized testing, one of our big questions that we get is the GRE required? It is not required for this program. And then let's look at the English language proficiency exams as well. So it can kind of get a little bit confusing because it's a lot of do you not meet this requirement? But it is required for anyone who is not a native English speaker and who has not received a degree from an institution where English was the sole language of instruction. So, in other words, if English is your native language, you do not need to take one of these. Or if you have a degree from an institution where English is the sole language of instruction, then you do not need to submit these. The recommended minimum score, if you are submitting these, is a 90 on the TOEFL and a 7.5 on the IELTS. And our school code is on the screen here. Again, this is a good screenshotable slide. It's got that information for you. Um, and then I'll just put a good link in the chat as well that I am just going to copy and paste here for career outcomes of our alumni. Awesome. Next slide, please. Great. So what makes a great candidate? When we are reviewing your application, we are taking a holistic view, and that means holistic review, and that means we're considering all of the aspects that make up who you are as a student and who you are as a scholar. And we're making sure that all of the skills that you have are going to set you up for success in this program. This is a rigorous program, and we want to be sure that our applicants have the skills needed to succeed in the program. So when we're looking at academic readiness, GPA is not the only thing we're considering here. We are looking at your grades in the data science related classes. We are looking at overall GPA. We're looking at any kind of projects that you have done, your prerequisite courses. Apologies, my dog is barking in the background. Um, we're looking at kind of your basic performance throughout your academic career of the transcripts that you have submitted, and seeing where you've succeeded and where you might have maybe had some pitfalls. You can offer academic explanations within your application. So if you had something maybe in life come up that led to a semester of poorer grades than average, there is room in the application for you to offer kind of a background. Again, we want to know your story. We want to know who you are. We want to know what you've done. So then moving into research and work experience, this is not required, but it is something that can help us see who you are and the direction that you're moving in within the field and the subject. This is something that's really helpful for us when we are viewing how you can handle graduate level material in relation to data science. So if you have it, it's really nice to showcase, but again, it is not required. Having specific goals helps us, again, understand the end point of that story of where you want to go. Your statement of purpose is a great way to showcase what your goals are. Again, we like to see how you can kind of tie in where your passion for this subject started, what you've been doing in the meantime, and where you want to go. We want to know that you really looked into this program specifically, so we want to understand why Brown and why these courses and these faculty members and these research projects, what about this program is going to help you reach your goals, whether they are short-term or long-term? How are we going to be of best support to you? The next, again, is letters of reference, and we did kind of cover those, so I'm going to skip that. STEM prerequisites, again, when we're looking at your academic readiness, we're looking at an overall GPA, but we're also looking at those STEM courses and kind of a STEM GPA overview. So previous experience with mathematics, statistics, those prerequisite courses like calculus, linear algebra, probability and programming, that's where we're going to look there. And then strong communication skills as well. In those written statements, um, we're asking you specific questions. We're not asking you to repeat your resume. If it's in your resume, that's great. We'll see it. So we want to get to know you a little bit better. This is your writing sample, so we want to be sure it is graduate level writing. We want to see that you are capable of submitting something that is a graduate level, beginning graduate level writing example. So be sure you're pre-reviewing, don't have any or pre-editing, don't have any typos, don't have grammatical errors. Make sure it follows your story. Next slide, please. Great. So we're going to start with Q&A, and I had a couple of questions submitted before the session. So I want to cover those first.
Sounds good.
Let's
In the
see.
meanwhile, feel free to submit questions to the Q&A section. We will keep an eye on it and answer them as they come in.
Absolutely. So our first question here is, can you elaborate on the specific pathways for the SCM in data science and for us to engage with Brown's entrepreneurship ecosystem, such as the Nelson Center?
Yes. Yeah. So that's a great question. Yeah. So as I said, we have an elective where you can take courses on entrepreneurship as well from the Nelson Center. So that's definitely an option. Generally speaking, it matters a lot how you spend your time outside of the courses, right? Outside of the academic requirements. So all the kind of extracurricular things that you engage in at Brown, that will have a huge impact on your career. So if entrepreneurship is what you are interested in, then you should definitely just reach out to people at the Nelson Center, ask to meet, ask how you can get engaged, what kind of opportunities they have. It's always best to be proactive about these things. So, for example, if you want to do academic research, don't wait for us to send out internship or RA opportunities for you. Just go through the department websites and center websites, find faculty that works on something that you find interesting, and then just reach out to them, ask to meet. People love that. You will see faculty at Brown especially is super friendly. It's very easy to arrange RA positions this way for yourself. So being proactive about all of these things, I think it's very important, and that's what you should all do.
Great. Thank you. Our next question, they would like to know about non-tech or non-science background individuals coming into the program.
Mm. Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, the problem is, the the prerequisites are there for a reason, right? We want to make sure that everyone we admit will succeed in the master's program, right? So if you don't have linear algebra, if you don't know calculus, the courses in the program will be extremely difficult for you, and it will be unethical or a disservice to the student, to the applicant, to admit them if they don't have the prerequisites. So this is why we have, the prerequisites. It's very important. Having said that, if, as I said, if you miss maybe one prerequisite from that list, like, I don't know, you didn't take a statistics course, or you feel that your programming experience is not great, but you have everything else in the list, and still, feel free to apply. And you are actually, in fact, encouraged to apply. Um, you know, if only one prerequisite is missing, that's something we can address before you start the program, and that's going to be fine.
Awesome. Thank you. What kind of characteristics are we looking for in students, and how does the Brown Masters of Science in Data Science shape a student?
Mm, nice question. Excellent. Yeah, as I said, we have lots of hands-on experience here. All the homework assignments, all the projects. We will encourage you to work in teams. We will encourage you to practice all the skills and theory that you learn in the lectures. as I said, we have a huge emphasis on ethics and fairness. It's a topic that pops up in all of your courses, and we also have a dedicated course on fairness. So I think that's probably how we shape our students. We are also here to help. Your faculty, your instructors will have like an open door policy. Our cohort is not huge. It's one of the other questions we have. How many students we plan to admit for the fall. Our cohort is usually around 40, 50 students. So you will get to know everyone. You will get to know your TAs, your instructors very well. It's very friendly environment, I think. And so this is, I think, the best way kind of to learn and to get to know and to build a community at Brand. I think it's great.
Great. Thank you. And then our last of the pre-submitted questions, do I have a chance to get in touch with companies to work on some projects?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I think at Brand we have Handshake, right, that students use very often to reach out to companies. We also have a DSI students and alumni LinkedIn group where you will receive an invite to if you are admitted. So you can reach out to our alumni as well, and they post uh, any kind of internship and full-time job opportunities on the LinkedIn group as well. Again, best way to go is to not wait for these opportunities, but be proactive about it. So, uh, come up with a list of companies that you would like to work for, that you think they do something interesting. Check if you have an alumni working there, and then reach out to that alumni. And that's the best way to kind of establish connections with different companies.
Awesome. Cool. So starting with the Q&A questions, let's see.
Let's take a look at it. Can you tell me the maximum number of electives I can take in the program? So one is required for graduation, but of course you can take more electives if you want to. Um, I think the way this works is that in any given term, the maximum number of courses you can take is 5. That's insane. Like I would not recommend anyone to do that. So in any given term, I think what you should aim for is maybe 2 of the mandatory courses. So you advance with the program. And then on top of that, if you want, you can take maybe 1 or 2 electives per term, and that's already a lot. So one elective is required for the program for graduation, but you can take more if you want to. Also wondering whether it's possible to complete the required courses early and then take additional electives during the remaining terms. No, that's a very clear no. So in any given term, you need to have at least 1 required course. So you cannot just take electives. That's unfortunately not possible. And the other thing that you should keep in mind is that the maximum length of the program structure is 24 months. We are not really able to extend the program structure beyond that. So this is why we have, the 2-2-1, 2-2 program structure. So you would take 2 courses in your regular fall and spring terms. And then you can, if you want, you can leave your first summer free to do an internship and then finish your capstone during your second summer. And that's how you can have a 24 months program structure. So you need to have mandatory courses in each academic term. Pop, pop, pop. Next one, how do you determine if an internship meets the requirements of the capstone course? So this is especially important for international students. So this is a data science master's program. So if you need a CPT or any kind of employment visa, your internship needs to be related to your field of study, right? So the internship needs to be somehow data related. Database engineering, data science, machine learning engineer, those kind of job titles are great. We had students in the past who wanted to do internships maybe in web development or software engineering unrelated to data science, and those don't qualify. So data is the key here. It needs to have some data work in there, or machine learning, or AI, or something like that. Those kind of internships qualify for the capstone. Okay. Let's see. I have internship experience. Among the three recommendation letters, must one be from my internship mentor? Can all three be from my undergraduate professor and lecturer? I mean, it can be from instructors. It is much better if it's from your mentors and advisors. Um, that's what we are looking for, right? So if you have, especially if you have multiple internships on your resume, right? The more letters you have from your internship mentors, the better. That's really what we value very much. If you had to choose between an industry-oriented focus or an academic research-oriented focus, which would better describe the overall direction of the program? That's an interesting question. So you can do both for sure. The Brown faculty, you can join in some state-of-the-art research programs. Having said that, I think most of our students, they are industry oriented. So their main goal is to get industry jobs as a data scientist, as a data engineer, as a machine learning engineer. So that's what most of our students focus on. Having said that, it happens more and more frequently. The students in the program decide to pursue a PhD. So the academic research track is also, I think, very popular. If I had to put numbers on it, I would say maybe 80% industry, 20% PhD and academic research after the program. Have graduates worked for nonprofits after graduation? I'm particularly interested in program evaluation. Yes, we have people who work for nonprofits. I would not be able to tell you the names of those nonprofits, but if you go to the Career Outcomes website, we list job titles of our alumni and also the companies where they worked at, and you will see some nonprofits over there, I think. If I want to pursue a PhD degree after this program, any particular PhD program in brand is relevant. I mean, yes, of course. Depends on what department you want to do your PhD. If you want to do a PhD at Brown, I think what is very important is that you reach out to those program managers, to those faculty. You have a home field advantage, right? You will be here. You should definitely do an RA position with some of those faculty. So when you apply for the PhD program, they already know you. You are not just another faceless applicant in the pool. They will already know you. You already work with them. You might even have a publication with those faculty, and that will really boost your chances of getting in. How would scholarships be considered? Is it need-based, academic performance-based? It's both. So you will have to submit a FAFSA form for the need-based scholarship. And for academic performance, nothing else is needed. So when we evaluate the applications, we score the applications. And so applicants with the highest scores will qualify for the academic scholarships, and then the need-based, that will depend on the FAFSA form. Are there opportunities to take required classes besides the capstone during the summer? No, capstone Data 2050 is the only course we offer in the summer. All other courses are during the fall and the spring term. You should know, though, that the capstone Data 2050 is also offered in the spring term. So it's spring or summer. So there is some flexibility when you can complete that. We have one other course that's Data 2980, which is an individual study course, I think. If you want to do a second internship, you are an international student and you need a second CPT, you can take that course. And that course is offered in each term, fall, spring, or summer. So in any given term, you can get a CPT with that course. Okay. Programming course in C++ and Java, not Python or R. Does that meet the prerequisite requirements? So. Yeah, Python or R would be better, but given that you know C++ and Java, you will not have any problems picking up Python and R. C++ especially is so much more difficult, I think, than Python or R. So, learning another language after C++, I think it's relatively easy. So, yeah, I think you will be fine. Can several years of programming career experience in software suffice the programming prerequisite? Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's for programming experience, we are not necessarily looking for courses, right? If you had an internship or an RA position where you or a full-time position as well, where you wrote code in Python or R, perfect, right? Let us know when you apply. That also fulfills the prerequisite. Absolutely.
All right. I think
Okay,
that's like all of our Q&A.
let's
If
wait
we
a
want
few
to go
more
to the
minutes.
next slide, just put our contact information up on the screen. You can always find us online, email, phone call. If you do have any questions after the session today that come up, you can email us at masters_events@brown.edu and I can connect you with Andres and Maria. Kind of last call for any questions. We've got a couple more minutes.
Thank you for joining.
All right. Cool. Well, that looks like, oh, what one last question.
Do
Can we work
we
with an
work with an
advisor?
advisor? Yes. So I'm the academic advisor to all the master students. So I can help with all sorts of academic issues. If you need advice on your program structure, on what sequence you should take your courses, what elective you should take, I'm here to help. Also, if you encounter any sort of difficult life events, right? Long-term illness, a loved one passes away, any kind of other difficulty, any kind of difficulty you have that prevents you from focusing on your studies. I'm the person to talk to. You can always reach out to me, and I will help the best I can. I will redirect you to various resources at Brown to help you. But yeah, that's the job of the academic advisor. So that's gonna be me.
Awesome. Great. And I think we've covered them all, covered all the questions that came in.
That's good. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. And I hope we will read your application very soon.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.